The word Christian has actually become a catch-all word for anyone believing in our Savior, regardless of their denomination. And this is very misleading because that has not always been the case. The word Christian no more describes the followers of the one true faith the apostles followed than the name Jesus is the proper transliteration for Yeshua. This English word Christian has been used down through history to describe anyone who believes in Messiah, and this has not always been the case. Would a Messianic Jew qualify as a Christian? I don't think so. Remember, if you change one characteristic of Yeshua, our Messiah, you create a counterfeit Messiah and also an idol, just as if you change one characteristic of the one true apostolic faith handed to us by the apostles to guard and protect. You create an apostate counterfeit religion. And there are many words that the enemy has placed in our vocabulary that are meant to deliberately mislead us. Now, some of you may be thinking, why would this be important? It is actually very important if you want to know the whole truth of a matter and uncover just how deep this rabbit hole goes that our adversary has dug, hoping we will all fall victim because Satan knows a little leaven will leaven the whole lump. I know we have been led to believe that according to Acts chapter 11, verse 26, that the disciples Barnabas and Paul were first called Christians in Antioch. But you would be wrong if you think they embraced that label. That English word Christian in Greek is Christanios, from the root word Christos, which simply means anointed. It does not mean and is not the equivalent to the Hebrew word Messiah, although Strong's would like you to believe this, because he states in his definition that Christos, i.e., the Messiah. Well, i.e. is Latin for that is. Strong's cannot say Christos is the same as the Hebrew word Messiah. He can only imply that it points to the same meaning. And this is not exactly true, because someone that is anointed or follows someone that is anointed is not necessarily following the Messiah. The reason this is so relevant is because when Paul and Barnabas were called this Greek word Christanios, it was actually a word that had been around for over 1,000 years and was used to describe all Greeks who worshipped and followed after the pagan god Helios, who was believed to be the personification of the sun in ancient Greek history. So they were simply saying to Paul and Barnabas, "You're like us, anointed and good." The apostles never referred to themselves as Christians, but called themselves names such as Nazarenes, or Hebrews, or followers of the way. Under the law of first mentioned, you cannot take the pagan word Christanios, or Christian, that has been used to describe a pagan religion for thousands of years, and transfer it to mean the followers of Yeshua, the Messiah. Constantine was a follower and worshiper of Helios until the day he died, and consequently referred to himself as a Christian. Does this describe you? This is just another example of how the apostate Roman Catholic Church, from its inception, has adopted not only words, but every religious practice from ancient, pagan, Babylonian traditions of men who worshiped demons as false gods. You can say that is not what the word Christian means to you, but that is the original meaning of how the word was applied, and that cannot be changed. Why does this matter? Because if you believe this lie, then you will fall for the next lie, that the Christian church started at Pentecost. The true congregation or assembly of the faithful followers of our apostolic faith started with the father of our faith, Abraham, and has perpetuated through his descendants by covenants with the Almighty for over 4,000 years. The belief in Yeshua as Messiah was what started at Pentecost, where the Spirit was poured out upon approximately 3,000 people that day. But that event was not meant to create a new religion that would reject Father's teachings and instructions for life. his Torah. If you enter into the faith of following Yeshua, the Messiah, you are not a Christian, no more than you are a Gentile. But you have been grafted into the vine of Messiah Yeshua, and that vine is Hebrew. You have crossed over, no longer a Gentile, but you have been grafted into the Hebraic vine and have been made a new creation, a new creature in Yeshua the Messiah. You are a seed of Abraham and have become joint heirs to all the promises given to the patriarchs through Yahuwah's covenants with the 12 tribes. You are not a pagan Catholic Christian. You are part of the commonwealth of Israel. Christianity is a leavened, apostate, counterfeit, pagan religion created 1700 years ago by Rome, which came to be called Catholicism. For in the creation of their religion, they didn't even change the pagan Greek name they have called themselves for thousands of years. Yeshua gave us a warning in John 5:43, saying that he came in the Father's name and was rejected, but that another would come in his own name and be received. Could this be the false Christ named Jesus, who Christians today have been taught that because he fulfilled the Torah, this is the reason the old covenants have been done away? Is it any wonder why the Nazarenes rejected Christianity, which led to the holy wars being fought and millions dying in battle as martyrs against Rome? How easily we have forgotten their sacrifices and blood, and in doing so have compromised our faith. Does it matter? I guess that is a question everyone will give an answer to by the way they practice their faith. Paul reminds us in his epistle to the Corinthians to examine ourselves to see if we are truly in the faith that they, the apostles, handed to us. For if we preach, teach, or practice any other faith, according to Paul, we will be cursed and punished. Serving the Almighty and striving to follow his Torah daily is serious business if we're going to be willing to lay down our lives for the one true faith rather than compromise. Remember, only the faithful have faith. I'm Bill Sanford, trying to put the Torah in proper perspective in our day.